Hey everyone, how's it going? Today we're diving into a topic that has the potential to completely transform your life. You know that feeling when something seems to be missing, even though everything seems fine on the surface? That internal search for something greater? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Higher spirituality and how it can change the way you see the world and yourself. Higher spirituality is the path to a life filled with more peace, purpose, and connection. We're going to dive deep into this topic and discover how it can help us face daily challenges with a much lighter mindset. Trust me, it's going to be worth it. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. And let me know in the comments, what are you hoping to learn from today's video? Are you curious to find out how spirituality can transform your life? I want to know too. Let's get started. There's so much good stuff ahead. Let's start from the beginning. What exactly is higher spirituality? This term might sound a bit mystical or distant, but the truth is, it's much closer than we think. Higher spirituality isn't something reserved for spiritual masters or gurus. It's something we all have access to, as long as we're open to it. It's about our conscious effort to connect with something greater, with the divine, with what is eternal and beyond the material world. We're not talking about a specific religion, but rather a quest for a deeper understanding of life and our purpose as evolving spirits. In Spiritism, which is the foundation of what we discuss here, higher spirituality is directly linked to our spiritual essence. We're all spirits on a journey of evolution, but in our daily lives, we get so caught up in material concerns, work, responsibilities, problems, that we forget about this deeper aspect of life. And this is where higher spirituality comes in. It reminds us that we are much more than our physical bodies, that we have a greater mission, and that our moral and spiritual growth is what truly matters. Have you ever stopped to think about that? Have you ever had moments where you felt that life was more than what you were seeing on the surface? This search for something greater, this feeling that something is missing, can be the first step toward connecting with higher spirituality. And when we start looking at life through spiritual eyes, as we often say, everything changes. Our problems, which once seemed overwhelming, start to lose their power. We begin to focus on what truly matters, our evolution and our connection with something greater. And here's the big question everyone asks. Okay, but how does this transform my life? It's simple. When we change the way we see life, everything around us changes too. Challenges, instead of being heavy burdens, become opportunities for learning. What once brought suffering is now faced with more serenity and patience. And that is incredibly freeing. Can you imagine facing your daily challenges with this kind of lightness? If you've ever felt the need to connect with something greater, leave a comment. Let's share our experiences. What have you been feeling? How is your spiritual journey going? And if you know someone else on this path, share this video with them. Let's expand this conversation and walk this path of self-discovery and spiritual growth together. Now that we understand what higher spirituality is, let's explore how it can transform the way we see life. You know those tough moments that seem unbearable? Or that feeling of emptiness that shows up even when everything seems fine? Well, that could be a sign that your spiritual connection needs some attention. When you start connecting with higher spirituality, things begin to make sense in a different way. You realize that life's challenges aren't punishments or just bad luck. They are opportunities for growth. Life isn't just a random series of events. Everything we go through has a higher purpose. Spiritism teaches us that each experience, especially the hardest ones, carries a lesson for our evolution. The law of karma, for example, shows us that our actions have consequences and that we are always learning, whether through positive or negative experiences. This doesn't mean that your problems suddenly disappear, but it does change how you approach them. When something goes wrong, instead of feeling overwhelmed, you start to reflect, what is this situation here to teach me? This shift in perspective completely changes how you handle life. Things that used to cause you so much pain now become opportunities for self-discovery and growth. Of course, this isn't easy. I know that, in practice, facing challenges with this kind of serenity can be difficult. But it's something we build over time, step by step. How about starting by reflecting on the recent challenges you faced? Have you thought about how they contributed to your growth? Sometimes, it's during the toughest moments that we make the most significant leaps in life. I know it might sound like a cliché, but if you stop and think about it, you'll see how true it is. Have you ever gone through something like this? Have you noticed that after a big storm in your life, there came a period of greater clarity and peace? Share your experience in the comments. I love reading these stories because they help us understand that we're not alone on this journey. Now, let's talk about something that sparks a lot of curiosity: mediumship. Maybe you've heard of it before, but do you really know how it works? In Spiritism, mediumship is one of the most powerful tools to connect with higher spirituality. What many people don't know is that all of us, on some level, are mediums. That's right. Each of us has the ability to sense, intuit, or even communicate with the spiritual world. Maybe you've had that feeling of being guided by something greater, or perhaps a strong intuition that ended up being true. These are examples of how mediumship can manifest. And mediumship isn't just about grand phenomena like psychography or clairvoyance. Often, it reveals itself through small signs, like a sense of protection or a silent guidance that appears in difficult moments. The big question is, how can we use mediumship responsibly and for good? Higher spirituality teaches us that mediumship is not a gift meant for personal gain. On the contrary, it's an opportunity to serve, to help others, and to connect with our spiritual mission. And when we use it with pure intentions, mediumship becomes a powerful bridge between the material and spiritual worlds, facilitating learning and comfort for ourselves and others. Have you ever had an experience like that? Maybe a feeling that someone was guiding or protecting you, or a strong intuition that helped you make an important decision? If so, share it in the comments. Let's learn together. And if you've never experienced something like this, don't worry. Mediumship is something that can be developed over time, and the most important thing is to always be open to this connection with higher spirituality. So, I suggest you start paying more attention to your intuition and the small signs that show up in your daily life. Sometimes, we're so focused on the material world that we forget to notice what's coming from the spiritual plane. Try setting aside a few minutes each day to listen to your intuition, to meditate, and connect with this higher energy. The more you practice, the stronger this connection will become. Now, let's talk about one of the pillars of higher spirituality: reincarnation. You've probably heard about it before, but reincarnation is a profound and transformative concept that deserves special attention. In Spiritism, we understand that the spirit goes through multiple lives, in different bodies and circumstances, with the goal of evolving. Each life is a new chance, a new opportunity for learning, and it's through this continuous cycle that we grow spiritually. Have you ever stopped to think that the difficulties you face might be connected to lessons from past lives? Many times, when we go through situations that seem unfair or senseless, we forget that there's a bigger purpose at play. Reincarnation helps us understand that nothing happens by chance. Everything is part of a larger plan, a cycle of learning that stretches beyond just one lifetime. For example, think about challenging situations you've faced. Maybe a complicated relationship, a tough loss, or even a professional failure. Now imagine that these experiences aren't punishments, but lessons you chose to learn in this life. The law of karma, which is essential to understanding reincarnation, shows us that all actions have consequences, and we're constantly reaping what we've sown, whether from past lives or this one. Understanding this completely changes how we view life, doesn't it? Instead of seeing difficulties as injustices, we start to approach them as opportunities for growth. And more importantly, we realize that just as we're correcting mistakes from the past, we're also planting seeds for the future. This brings a sense of responsibility and purpose that goes far beyond the present. How do you feel about the idea of reincarnation? Have you ever thought about how your experiences in this life might be connected to past lives? And here's an interesting thought. Have you considered that by learning from these experiences, you're paving the way for a better future? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's discuss this together. Moreover, reincarnation gives us the perspective that it's never too late to change. Every new life is a chance to do things differently, to evolve, to repair mistakes, and to grow as spirits. Higher spirituality teaches us that we are eternal beings, and every challenge, every success, and every failure is part of a journey much greater than we can imagine. This gives us hope, not just for this life, but for all the ones that are still to come. We've reached a fundamental point. How can higher spirituality truly transform your life? Sometimes, when we talk about spirituality, it feels like we're dealing with something abstract or distant. But the truth is, this spiritual connection can lead to concrete changes in our daily lives. It's not that problems will magically disappear, but the way you deal with them can change completely. Higher spirituality provides you with a new perspective on life, a different way of viewing challenges and difficulties. You know those moments of tension when it feels like the world is crashing down and you don't know what to do? With spirituality, you start to understand that everything has a greater purpose and that every experience, even the toughest ones, has something to teach us. This doesn't mean you'll become a perfect person free from worries. Instead, you'll learn to handle these situations more balanced and calmly. Have you thought about that? When we begin to connect with this spiritual dimension, the things that once seemed gigantic become smaller. That work problem that used to keep you up at night starts to seem more manageable. Daily worries that once caused so much stress are now viewed from a broader perspective. Higher spirituality helps us remember that life goes beyond the material. There's something much greater at play, and this reflects in all areas of your life. Your mental health improves because you start cultivating an inner peace that doesn't depend on external circumstances. Your interpersonal relationships change too, as you begin to see others with more empathy and patience, understanding that everyone is on their own journey of evolution. Even your daily decisions become more conscious and aligned with your spiritual purpose. Have you ever wondered how your life would change if you viewed challenges as opportunities? What if you woke up every day knowing that, no matter what happens, you're on a path of growth and learning? That's exactly what higher spirituality offers us. A chance for deep personal transformation. It's not just about believing in something greater. It's about living that connection practically every day. The most beautiful part is that this process is accessible to everyone. It doesn't matter where you are today or what you've been through. Higher spirituality doesn't require perfection, just openness and a willingness to grow. It's a continuous journey where each day we take a small step toward our best version. And what's even more inspiring is that every step we take benefits not just ourselves, but also those around us, because our personal transformation reflects on the world. So my suggestion is, start small. Take some time each day to meditate, to reflect on the lessons your difficulties are trying to teach you. Observe your thoughts and emotions, and see how you can use these experiences to grow. It doesn't have to be something grand. Sometimes a simple change in attitude can make a huge difference. For example, try starting your day by being grateful for the little things, or by approaching challenges with more calm and wisdom. How do you feel about the idea of spiritual transformation? Can you envision the difference this could make in your life? Share your reflections in the comments. I'd love to hear how you're navigating this journey of personal evolution. And if you know someone who is also seeking this growth, share this video with them. The more people connected to this idea, the more light will spread in the world. Let's walk this path together, each at our own pace, but all in pursuit of a fuller, lighter, and more spiritual life. Well, everyone, we've reached the end of another video, and we've reflected on so many important things today, haven't we? We talked about higher spirituality and how it can profoundly transform our view of life. We learned that it's not just about believing in something greater. It's about living that spirituality in our daily lives, with more conscious actions, a higher perspective when facing challenges, and an open heart to evolve with every experience. One of the most beautiful things about higher spirituality is that it doesn't demand perfection. It embraces us as we are, with our flaws, fears, and doubts. And with each step we take toward a deeper connection, we feel stronger, calmer, and more prepared to handle whatever life throws our way. It's like we're building a solid foundation, an inner fortress that supports us even in the toughest storms. Who wouldn't want to live with that kind of peace, right? I know that, for many, starting this transformation process can feel challenging. You might feel lost or unsure of where to begin. But the important thing is to take that first step, even if it's small. As we discussed earlier, Take some time to meditate, to reflect on what life is teaching you, and most importantly, to reconnect with your spiritual essence. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. We're all on this path of evolution, each at our own pace, but all seeking the same light. Now, I want to hear from you. What touched your heart the most in today's video? What do you think you can start doing now to strengthen that connection with higher spirituality? Share your thoughts in the comments because I love reading what you share. This space is for exchange, for mutual growth, and your reflections can help others who are also on this quest. And of course, don't forget to be part of our community. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. That way, you'll be alerted whenever there's new content here. We have many amazing videos planned, all aimed at helping you grow spiritually and find more peace and purpose in your life. I'd also like to ask you for one more favor. Share this video with someone you think might need this message. Sometimes, a simple word of support or a new perspective can change someone's life. And together, we can spread this light to many more people. And if you're enjoying the channel's content, give us a like because it really helps spread this message to more people. Be sure to check out the other recommended videos that will appear on the screen. There's so much good stuff waiting for you, so let's continue together on this journey of self-discovery and evolution. Higher spirituality is within reach for all of us, and every step we take toward it transforms not just our lives but also the world around us. Wishing you peace and light, and may you stay steadfast on your spiritual journey. I'll see you in the next video.